It don't matter what time somebody goes live. He's okay. There's Kiwi. Hey, Kiwi. Kiwi. Oh. Kiwi. Say hello. Say hello to the world around you. Yeah, you pretty bird. Pretty bird. Minus the madness. Oh, I guess I'll go this way. Kiwi. Oh, my Lanta. What a different perspective. No one looks at themselves. Oh, I should go this way. I go that way. How can you see me? It's okay. Time, travel, and love. Interesting concepts for any person who's thinking. Brains functioning slow as always because this is a slow moving train. I'm just trying to get back to YouTube. So I can sit there and say thank you for the people that have commented on a video I made, Beyond the Thrill of the Chase, and helping me raise the awareness to mental health. So I really do appreciate all those people that are doing that. One thing, though, that I need to go get, and I'll go get it right now. As soon as I'm done thinking, I want to post a link in the chat. A link. Oh, my Lanta. In the chat so that, yeah. Clipboard. Boom. We're going to pin that. And that's just the show appreciation. The show by appreciation people for helping raise that awareness for mental health, because mental health is a serious issue, because we all have brains and we all think. Let me go grab that goodie to show you guys. Listen. Give me like 10 seconds. Now you can still hear me talking. You won't be able to see. Kiwi, what doing? People understand your training earlier today? I hope so. Oh, did you like my chair? Who doesn't like looking at a chair? Family. Oh, that should be moved over so you guys can aesthetically pleased. Yeah. What's important? Get it close. There you go. How about that? That looks better. I like that. That looks good. Rearranging my office to your office. Oh, that right there. Oh, all the glare of that 1880 gold $5 from Forrest Fenn's The Thrill of the Chase, going to a 14th random comment picker drawer on the video that is linked at the top to help raise awareness to suicide and mental health. So that is out of the way, and I'll just show this every so often because it is pretty. Yeah, Minus Madness is my journey on Kiwi's road through learning to cope with depression. And so in Beyond the Thrill of the Chase, a book I'm writing, there's two versions. There's my YouTube version, which I still have to fix up and update so that is nicer and better. Catch up on it. There's that. World Series of Fan, poker. If you like playing poker, we're gonna be down there. Kiwi won't, because I'll probably be having too much fun. That's okay. Kiwi, come here. Come here. Nah, she ain't come here. She's just learning. Um, what else? Oh, function at the junction. There's definitely function at the junction. That's coming up. Now, and I'm not sure where in the Thrill of the Chase, if it's in here or if it's a story found on the internet somewhere else about Forrest Fenn taking off his watch and throwing it into the into a field as he was driving by. What's up? Appreciate you coming by. Now there's two of us to party. You know, because I'm in here by myself. So it's like, what? This bird is trying to get my coffee. Watch. Look. She's thirsty. Here, come here. Up. Up. If you want some thirsty, you got it. Come here. Look, she wants some thirsty. Say I'm thirsty. Now, in what world would anybody in their right mind let their bird drink coffee? That is just ridiculous. That's why we have a glass of water right here. Because this guy will let his bird drink coffee. No, I'm just kidding. She's just literally had a sip, though. Because think about it. I mean, the bird naturally wouldn't sit there and grind up coffee, beans, and roast them, and then pour some hot water over it and then start drinking it. No, man. Come on. But, hey, it's a fluid that's drinkable, and if the last resort is the last resort, I'll let her drink some coffee if we can have the water. Come here. Come here. Say hi. Say hi. So, that's another thing on this Miner's Madness is, like I said, it's just a video diary documentation of me and Kiwi on Kiwi's Road through our journey through life, as it were. Well, so this background is the background of the inside of the house, which is the wife's perspective, I guess you could say, and the shed. That's all me. That's mostly all me. So when I first started the Thrill of the Chase, through that process, one of the things was I had this big whiteboard, and that's another thing that through my Picasso work that I was doing, videoing myself going live with such very poor and inadequate Wi-Fi and internet connection. I have Kiwi's training board sitting right here in case anybody wants to see it. All I gotta do is hit 1 for the training board. But yeah, so my wife had gotten a hold of a bunch of whiteboards, like big whiteboards, you know, like 2.5 by like 3.5 feet or something like that. Like 4 or 5 of them, and on the first one, I have a circle that's a maze, and then from that maze I have other circles on that board, and then I have like a timeline, lifeline. Well, that's on another board, which is cool. But yeah, it just showed the different journeys that I was making through my last 4 or 5 years, learning to cope with mental health, to really look at my life at a different perspective by writing down those things that have happened in the past, the present, and things that I look forward to in the future, which again kind of goes with the Miner's Madness, you know, of the title is, you know, time and time travel to facilitate love. And as my digression will always go, I will try to check out chat and see if anybody's chit-chatting or asking questions. Not that I'm like try to respond. I mean, if it's in red, I'll see it and try to respond. But like I said, this is the Minor Madness series. I think is gonna be more tailored to um, me just rumbling and rambling and seeing if anybody picks up on the vibe I'm giving out, because I enjoyed going on your channel today and uh, sharing a piece of my mind, as it were. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed it. I appreciate you letting me on there. And I think a lot of people have a lot of good ideas, and it goes along with back in like 2020 or something like that. I had started Project X, which was to get a better understanding of why people were choosing the search state that they were looking, and relationship with Forrest Fenn, and why they think Forrest Fenn hid a chest there and themselves hiding a chest there or retrieving a chest there. And with that neural networking of getting other people's points of views, where they've tried, haven't tried, or they're thinking of trying. I mean, it helps play in that process of elimination on where not to go, so to speak, because people are already in those areas looking. Now, that's not to say that their areas isn't good enough to look. It's just somebody else might go in that spot and find something they missed, or just totally overlook everything, altogether. But as this bird just loves to eat me. She just loves eating me. Ah, Kiwi. Huh? You say what doing? And again, so the Miners Madness and Kiwi's Road is also our sharing our journey together, as we learn and grow together. I mean, in order so there's a thing called the Americans with Disabilities Act, and a service animal, according to that government association, is defined as canine, which I believe that to be wrong, because by definition, I mean, a service animal would be any animal that performs one or more types of services to a person. You know what I mean? And I mean, she clearly, I can name off 2, 3, a few things that she does. Excuse me. This is West Cliff, Colorado. So we must have been to West Cliff, Colorado at some point in time. Or not. You're right, using up all the bandwidth. But I mean, for now, I mean, I would hope that I'm look better and clearer than I did the other day. Because, like I said, that Picasso work was just something of interest. Because it wasn't very interesting watching that jarble. Blah, 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 blah. Makes it very hard to understand what even a person's saying, Oh, boy, there's a lot of digression that goes on when you try to talk about almost a simple subject such as time, which is so complicated, and then time travel, and then love, and it's like, does anybody even care about those things? Do people have opinions on them, and what do people think of even my thoughts or opinions about it? And it's not to say, and I'm not trying to be negative or anything, not to say that I don't care about other people's opinions, but it's interesting to get that neural networking of ideas of impossible things that could be possible. Because time travel, I believe, is very possible if one is willing to learn and understand, I guess, how one form of time travel could work or happen. I think maybe the next show I'll use my GoPro and I'll try to do it from there. And you know, maybe me and you'll get on there. You know, if you uh, invite me or whatever, I'll try to use my GoPro and come on and see how that looks. You know what I mean? So I was a jet engine mechanic for the F-15s and F-16s. I worked back shop, um, and there's about 3 or 4 different sections in the back shop. You have the main intake section of the shop where everything comes in. They do their inspections. They tear down the what I would call the outer skin of a jet engine, and then from there they would send it to our section, which was the module repair, and we would tear the engine completely down to, I mean, the bare bones of every piece, nut and bolt, and you know, a lot of inspection going on. There's support section, and then there's they handle the tools and stuff. A lot of kind of administrative stuff, you know. Then there's a small gas section where they actually run mini turbo jets, which are used to start the main jet engines. There's test cell where they go and test the engines, and then there's flight line where you go and remove and install and do engine work on the flight line. So I worked every section of back shop, and I even did a little work there in test cell, very little work. And it's very interesting to see what you have put your hands on, been a part of tearing down all the way down to blades, nuts and bolts, to watching it work in a cohesive and functional unit. And when that thing is an afterburner, you have the main section of a jet engine, but there's a section which is the afterburner section, which is a pretty much like a big open trash can that has spray rings in them. And so them spray rings are set at different widths and inches apart from each other inside that conical. So when you go in afterburner mode and you see that the flame come out, you can actually count the rings that are fired from that spray ring in the flame itself. So that was always interesting and cool. What was your job? I answered that one. Sure. Same thing she did. Yeah, and that was one. So I would hear Street come on there on his channel, and he would talk about it, and it's like, man, I just want to sit there and type and say something too, but for some reason, for a while, he had me blocked, and I couldn't understand why, but he did, and eventually he had the unblocking party, which was pretty cool. So I look forward to having conversations, because I mean, when you talk about, again, time travel, time, and the aspect of time, our evolutionary period as humans, I mean, like the other night I was saying, it just really started peaking in the last 200-300 years. I mean, what, 4, 5, 6, 700 years ago, people thought the world was flat, you know. So now the ability to be in space and live in space, I mean, your expansion from just a closed single unit is vastly greater. I mean, how can another planet and another solar system that has already been 1 million years, 500,000 years already created, not be that advanced? I think my dad gave me COVID over video chat, feeling like all itchy and scratchy and stuff. and I can feel it like affected me. I got sympathetic COVID from my dad. And that's not good when you can get infected through the internet with viruses. I got an internet virus. So, in my moments of pausing, I'm looking down and I'm trying to read chat as well. So I can kind of be engaged versus my ramblings because, I mean, who does? I mean, I like the conversation. It's a lot better than what I got to say. But I mean, I could sit there and read people's comments, or I could just read them to myself. I don't know. I mean, people would have to let me know how they like to see things tailored and go, I guess, versus the way I'm going to tailor them. You know. But as I was saying with time, so you got that jump in evolution in information and technology that being a jet engine mechanic and having to know the aeronautics that go with it, some of the things that I have seen myself just didn't match up with the things I have learned versus what am being taught. So, and having some kind of first hand on with just the jet engines, I mean, it makes it a little bit easier for me to make a definition for myself of whether or not UFOs exist or not, which I totally believe they do and are here. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. Time and time travel. So I've been through the last 4 or 5 years in learning some of the stuff that I learned. I watch and listen to different people, different spiritual journeys, I guess, or religious journeys, or just journeys in life. And so I wanted the idea, I was going to sit there and kind of go over what, I've been watching on YouTube and learning and kind of like doing it with people, And they're usually short 10-minute things to watch, but I guess it'd be expanded every time I stop it, So, and yeah, I'll do that. I will play this video, pause it here and there just to yip yap. But then I'll go over at the end of the video how I think time and time travel is possible, and then see how people think and agree or disagree. And then while this is playing, I'll be like watching chatting. You know what I mean? I like that. I like that idea because well, Q, you want to go on that side? Oh, it don't matter. All right, so I'm gonna flip you guys over, and then we're gonna go from there. So we'll get you zoomed in here. Oh, there's too much on my screen. Oh, right. Oh, well, Twilight Zone. Now I'm sure you can see that just about okay, right? And if not, that's okay. As long as you can hear it. And they did an audio test earlier, which it's turned out to be okay too. Burger King. What about Burger King? I can have chicken, little parrot leg wings, but all right, here we go. And see, I can make it a little bit bigger if you like. Let's see. Oh yeah, Lucille. And so I'll just leave it like that then, or a little bit bigger. I'll try a little bit bigger. See if I can't screw this up. Just a little bit. Oh. Well, yeah, see, that's too big. Oh, that's almost like perfect. That is almost like perfect. That's like perfect. As long as I don't touch anything. But why is it looking all crooked, though? It don't matter. It's just us three having fun anyhow. All right, let's try this again. Ready? Boom. You're getting crooked. That's it. Forget it. We'll just tailor it like that. Anyway, so yeah, Lucille's a bad bat. She's crazy. My wife loves that show. I used to be into The Walking Dead, but then You know, like I said, the more you know, the less some things kind of just become like, okay, now this is getting a little too far fetched. I mean, you can tell me that something that has no muscle control, no brain control, and is losing all the tendons and flesh and muscle that make everything move, but yet it can still sit there and have enough, um, especially this late part, enough uh, cognitive ability to, I don't know, still have its own bones move and grab stuff, rocks and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it when it first started. But on this journey, learning to cope with depression on Kiwi's Road, some of the things that a miner thinks and when they're out in nature by themselves is the different things of possibility. And so I, been doing some research and stuff like that. And so one of the persons I like to watch on YouTube is called Alan Watts. And I don't know if anybody knows him. If you've heard of him, you like him or you don't, it's okay. But for me, he kind of helps sum up the spiritual and the religious and the worldly kind of in a fluid way that I kind of understand, and so it makes sense for me. But as I'm done digressing, I want to hit play on this, and if I need to turn it down, just let me know.
I suppose most of you are familiar with,
or if I need to turn it up, let me know.
You're asked the question, which of the three thick black lines is the longer? And I suppose one's natural reaction is to say the one on the left. And I think you know that this is a result of the illusion of perspective. But this is an example of Maya, that word from Indian philosophy, which generally has the meaning of illusion, or rather, illusions brought about by the acceptance of certain conventions, of which perspective was an example.
So, in time, the illusion of time, I think, is a construct of man that, we create the illusion that we can control the uncontrollable, which is the progression of everything moving forward and everything moving backwards. And so we try to control that. Can you drop a link in the video and chat? Yeah. To Alan Watts that I'm watching? Yeah, I can do that if I'm smart enough. So I mean, on my my channel, there's some things my libraries that I have listed. Well, see, there's several different channels that I've gotten this one from. You know what I mean? So this one's Inspiration and Motivation is I believe the channel name. And or you could just We Are Running Out of Time by Alan Watts. Because I'll do that. Hold on. Give me like 2 seconds to get my brain together. Because now I know what I'm going to do there. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. It's easy. I know what you're saying. Right. We'll continue with this. But yeah, so he's describing time as an illusion. And it is. It's an illusion of what we think we can control. And you can't control time as much as you would like to prolong life and death. It's something, a construct that a man created to measure that which needs measuring or is unmeasurable. I don't know. What do you think? I'll hit play and get that link.
Now, I think one of the conventions by which we tend to be fooled more than almost any other, is time. And for all human beings, time is a matter of extraordinary importance. And perhaps this is one of the principal ways in which we differ from animals. Because man has been called a time-binding animal. That is to say, a creature who is vividly aware of the fact that his life moves, as it were, along a line from the past through the present and into the future.
I'm not sure if you heard what he was just saying, but how man looks at their life on a line going from past, present, and future. With a prayer labyrinth or a meditation labyrinth, you're doing the same thing as you're walking to and from and away towards a goal or the center, trying to figure something out, whatever it may be. But it's also a different perspective because it now takes that from birth to living to death in a straight line. It takes that perspective and it adds in another dimension of movement, of turning and cornering and going in different directions before you can reach C through B. You know what I mean? And these are just different things that I tend to think of as I'm listening to somebody else explain, a bunch of different spiritual religions and whatnot. But anyway, digression.
Animals apparently live pretty much moment by moment. They don't appear to have very strong memories. But because man has a strong memory, he is able to bear the past in mind and, as it were, cast it forward into visions of the future based upon what has happened in the past.
Boy, this is going to be long. So, memory. He's talking about memory. And your memories are kind of made up of the things that you experience on the outside of your body, or things that you experience on the inside of your body. Your mind is one of the most powerful things that at least I have ever known. You can do the impossible in your mind because your mind has no limitations but what it's taught. And you truly, it is limitless inside your mind. So to be able to apply that in a past, in a present, and a future perspective, you can use that to, in a sense, kind of time travel. And which is interesting. But anyway.
And therefore, although this facility gives man the most extraordinary ability to plan his life, to prepare for future eventualities, at the same time, there is a very heavy price which he pays for it, and especially if he takes this ability too seriously. In other words, if he doesn't realize that the true reality in which he lives is the present moment now. We actually spend most of our time and a great deal of our emotional energy living in time which is not here, living in an elsewhere which is not concretely real. So much so that although we may be quite comfortable and happy in our present circumstances, if there is not a guarantee, not a promise, of a good time coming tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, we are at once unhappy, even in the midst of pleasure and affluence. And so we develop a kind of chronic anxiety about time. We want to be sure more and more, because of our sensitivity to the feeling of time, we want to be sure more and more that our future is assured. And for this reason, the future becomes of more importance to most human beings than the present. And in this sense, we are hooked, taken in by a Maya, because it is of very little use to us to be able to control and plan the future unless we are capable at the same time of living totally in the present. My goodness, don't you remember when you went first to school? You went to kindergarten. And in kindergarten, the idea was to push along so that you could get into first grade, and then push along so that you could get into second grade, third grade, and so on, going up and up. And then you went to high school, and this was a great transition in life. And now the pressure is being put on. You must get ahead. You must go up the grades and finally be good enough to get to college. And then when you get to college, you're still going step by step, up to the great moment in which you're ready to go out into the world. And then when you get out into this famous world, comes the struggle for success in profession or business. And again, there seems to be a ladder before you, something for which you're reaching all the time. And then, suddenly, when you're about 40 or 45 years old in the middle of life, you wake up one day and say, I've arrived. And by Jove, I feel pretty much the same as I've always felt. In fact, I'm not so sure that I don't feel a little bit cheated. Because you see, you were fooled. You were always living for somewhere where you aren't. And while, as I said, it is of tremendous use for us to be able to look ahead in this way and plan, there is no use planning for a future, which when you get to it and it becomes a present, you won't be there. You'll be living in some other future which hasn't yet arrived. And so in this way, one is never able actually to inherit and enjoy the fruits of one's action. You can't live at all unless you can live fully now. I mean, if the objective of music were to arrive at a point, say the last bar, the final great crashing chords of the symphony, well then all we'd do would be just hurry up its playing, play it as fast as possible so as to get to the culmination, the end, as soon as possible. Or just cut out the whole symphony and play only the last bars. To be able to enjoy it, we have got to live each moment of the play and listen to it as if it were the only thing important to listen to. And then if we do that, our time has an entirely different quality. It's represented in a Buddhist saying that spring does not become the summer. There is spring, and then there is summer. Firewood does not turn into ashes. There is first firewood, then there are ashes. The two stages being, as it were, sufficient by themselves. And this is intended to give the idea of living in a fully concrete present into which you settle in. I mean, the present for most of us is, isn't it, just a hairline on a dial. And the hand goes by it flash, and there's nothing in it, one after another. But here there is an entirely different sense of the present, as something you can settle into. I remember once a very wise man who used to give lectures on philosophical matters of this kind. Before he started giving any lecture, would sit for a while looking at his audience, very intently like this. And then quite suddenly he would say, "Wake up! You're all fast asleep. And if you don't wake up, I won't give any lecture." And another Chinese sage pointed one day to some flowers while talking to a friend and said, "Most people look at these as if they were in a dream." And Buddha, one of the wisest of the sons of Asia, his real name was Gautama, but he was called Buddha because Buddha means the awakened one, the man who woke up. Now, in what sense was he awake? he was awake in the sense that he was completely all here. After all, we say about a person who's nuts, he's not all here. He's not all there. But our whole culture, our whole civilization, insofar as it is involved with time and living only for a future, is nuts. It's not all here. We are not awake. We are not completely alive now. And consequently, we are so hungry and so greedy, because everything seems taken. We are living for an abstraction which has not yet come to be. And we don't know what really is.
Oh, wasn't that so nice? Anyway, so now what did Alan Watts have to say that would help me with time travel? Or time, or even, okay, I'll look it up right now. Just because I'll chat and I'll look it up at the same time. And for me, the simple answer is your imagination. Your imagination is a tool that you can use to help yourself time travel. And to prove this, it goes along with the sense of multiversing. And multiverse, I guess it would be hard to multiverse from a singular point. But the impression that an individual makes on another individual is something that person can carry whether you're there or not. So that universe of you still exists in this person. So if one person makes an impression on 5 people, you've left a positive impression. When that impression is gone, that's 5 other universes that you exist in somebody else's mind. So multiverse. Along with that would be daydreaming in your imagination. So you have time travel, and love, facilitating love. And let's see, we're picking up and we're moving on my Lanta. Let's see if I can do this. It'll probably be all zoomed in, but that's okay. So this is Kiwi's training board that I was so inclined trying to show everybody the other day. And, you can see her flight training on there as well. But you have the future, you have the past, and the present. And then you have yourself. And so in yourself, for love, you have to have love for yourself, love for your family, and then how do you make that all work going on? Oh, I should have gone slow. This is the sound and light, a purpose, vibrational frequencies. So, I guess to say, if a person was willing to take the trick, you have what is around you now, which is almost a constant. Usually the only thing that is unconstant, just me speaking, is people. People is the unconstant variable that is always changing, either making something better or worse. Pretty much everything else in nature is its own self and self-sustaining and happy, whether they're getting eaten or not. You know what I mean? So if you're, oh my Lanta, you're falling. Um, if a person is trying to find out what love is or the journey of love in the past, or if a person is finding out that journey of love in the present, or if a person is wanting to have this thing to look forward to in the future, the person can sit there and dream the things that are around them and the things that are negatively affecting them, and hopefully try to change that and mentally figure out how to fix it in your mind and make it so when you wake up in the present, because your past affects, you know, your present and your future, especially if they're all the same. It's just, how do you look at it? Do you choose to look at from one perspective of, you know, here's the present, or do you look at a different perspective of here's the past, here's the future, and here's the present? You know what I mean? And so with if there's things that I see in my life that are trending or whatever, and I want to change that, I'll dream about how to change that and how to fix it. Or like for working on, here's another way I like to do it is work, like I have the spare bedroom that I'm turning into an office. Presently, I'm not working on it, but in my mind, I'm daydreaming and I'm working on it. So in the future, I'm planning out what I'm going to do, even though I'm still here in the present, which when I go to do it will become the past. But I'm solving things that I'm running into if I were to have issues. So if I'm in there and I'm doing this and I'm pulling this up and thinking about this, and it's like, oh, well, I need to make sure I do this and I need to make sure I don't do that. And I'm planning and working in the future of how I want my present to go. So for me, that's, I would think, almost by definition in a form of time travel. I mean, you're traveling from one point in time into another, whether your body stays here or not, your mind is still traveling with other thoughts at the same time as being here. So yeah, that's some deep thinking for a miner to think about when they're out there mining, which is probably why it's madness for me to talk about it. Or is it? It's okay. I got Kiwi anyway. So she's my icebreaker. That way I don't break my back or rocks. Huh, Kiwi? Oh, my lantern. No, I'm just kidding. She didn't bite me hard. So yeah. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was looking up that other video so that the people that are hanging out are still hanging out and chatting. But now now you've learned how to figure out how to use your dreams and imagination to time travel. Because if you're having a bad relationship day, just imagine what you want it to be in the future and try to make it happen now, in the present. You're time traveling. I like it. And if I'm not mining gold, I'm just herding rocks. And that's the best thing I can come up with, And it's okay, because look, I may not have been able to find something, but I was able to get my hands on something so that I can give it away to somebody else that might need something to look forward to. Then again, who wouldn't look forward to wanting to win this $1885 gold piece from Forrest Fenton's Thrill of the Chase? Because all they have to do is comment on that video that's at the top of the link. But there's only been 2 people. And nobody's getting traction in sharing this, which is okay. Because, what, do I have to start putting Forrest Fenn in the title just to get traction? No. I think I like it as Miner's Madness, because that's just how we roll. A man-eating bird and a crazy guy that talks through his nose all the time. So, I mean, interested or not, I'm going to look up that video right now, though. Imagination by Bob Proctor. Facebook jail. Okay. All right. Because people are still hanging out. So we're going to, like, one person's still hanging out. I think you dropped off and came back on. Oh, no. Wait. Imagination. And because with your imagination, you do exactly what I just said. And again, I mean, when you're growing up, people are taught red, white, and blue, or red, green, and blue, and then black and white, 1, 2, 3, and then you start progressing as you're learning, as your personal self evolution of communication changes. Imagination. Imagine Dragons. I listen to a lot of Imagine Dragons because they got pretty good tunes. Oh, I probably have already seen it. Imagine. See, I don't know how to spell. See, I'm not good at school and educational things. I mean, see, I'm still stuck on the IMAGIN. Imagination. Imagination. There it is. The easy way to find it. When I sit there and help you out. Let's see. Foster the People. Proctor Gallagher. Oh, man, I have to mute that one for a second. You said by who? Bob Proctor. Proctor. Oh, well, there's Proctor one. Develop your imagination. No, I don't think that's the one you're talking about. Let's see. We'll get you focused up over there. We'll get you zoomed in. Oh. There's a cat for you. Oh. I'm making it all kinds of weird. No, just imagine it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Imagine Dragons. Da, 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 da. Come on now. Imagination. I spelled it right. Okay, so I have to go back over here and do this. Bam. Bob. Mr. Bob. Is Bob here? There we go. Let's see, that's the development of your imagination, is that one. But I'm not, I mean, you're seeing what I'm looking at right there. Aren't you? Probably not. The Imagination Frequency by Bob Proctor. Is that the one you're thinking of? Oh, develop your imagination. Okay, we'll do that one. Yeah, see, I already started watching that one. Ads playing, but I mean, yeah. So I mean, Miner's Madness is just really an open sourced diary of myself, I guess. You know, and our, like I said, our journey, rumblings and ramblings of people. All right, let's do this. I don't mind watching and learning. Oh, okay. You go smoke. I'll wait. Or you're listening anyway. You've seen it. I'll just play it.
Many years ago, I read where Napoleon Hill pointed out that the imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force that the world has ever known. And you know, the average individual uses the imagination.
And I'll say this, I mean, to that exact point of your mind is one of the most powerful things in the world. And to me, that's second none to, for lack of a better word, the cosmos or the great creator or God with a capital G. Because without one, I mean, the other's still there. And that's how powerful that the two can split and still be the same. And it probably doesn't even make sense. But it's like, to sit there and say it's impossible that there's a God, then it should be possible that there is a God. And it's to say, I mean, that's how powerful the mind is, that the way a brain thinks. I mean, that's, one of the reasons in how I came up with, for me, in our journey, in our exploration of truth in the existence of a great creator or the cosmos or God. That's what we kind of come up with through our evolution of communication is, both equal or are the same. But anyway, yeah.
Imagination, if they use it at all, against themselves.
Stop chewing my ear. Come on, where you think I am?
Let's begin to use our imagination the way God meant it to be used. It's the greatest creative faculty that we possess. And we can build anything we want with it. I want you to wander around your home or possibly your office and take a look at all of the conveniences that you have there that you didn't have, let's say, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years ago, 25 years ago. Do you know that every one of them, without exception, was first created in the mind of one individual with their imagination? Do you know you can use your imagination to go into the future and bring it into the present? That's what all highly successful people do. They see where they want to go, and then they act like the person they want to become. It was William James from Harvard's advice. He says it's the actor's technique. Act like the person you want to become. How do you do that? Well, you use your imagination, of course. You see, it's a strange phenomenon, but the greatest gift we've got is used very well up till the ages of 4 or possibly 5. The little child, we always wonder what's going on in their mind. They're using their imagination. They're building wonderful pictures in their mind. But then they get to school and wham, like that, it comes to an abrupt halt. It's called not paying attention. Daydreaming. Well, what they were really doing was exercising a phenomenal mental faculty. You see, we can see, hear, smell, taste, touch. They're for our physical benefit. As long as we're living in a physical body and corresponding with the material world, we will use our sensory factors. You know, I have a couple of little dogs at home that can hear, see, smell, taste, and touch. We've got higher faculties. You have perception, the will, memory, intuition,
Emotions.
and imagination. These marvelous tools. We can take our imagination and build an image in our mind of how we want to live. Block out what's going now. Don't let your present results have anything to do with this. Just what you want. And it's with your imagination that you will build it. Everything that we have, the camera that I'm speaking to right now, was first created in the mind of one individual. Think of how our world's changed. You see, we were gifted with these higher faculties. We're God's highest form of creation. We were created in God's image. We were given creative faculties to use. And you know, they're only used by 2 or 3% of the population. It's almost inconceivable that people would wander around with so much power and potential and squander it. See, the average person literally tiptoes through life, hoping they make it safely to death. It's such a shame, and it doesn't have to be that way.
That's me.
Think we have giant corporations and little wee creative departments. The primary reason for that is the average individual really does not believe that they're creative. Think. Everyone's creative, and no one is more creative than another. It's just that some have chosen to use their creative faculties to a greater degree than others. Imagination, your imagination. What do you want? How do you really want to live? Build the picture in your mind. There's a power that is flowing to and through you. A creative, unadulterated power. It can be photographed leaving your body. Way back in the 30s, Semyon Kurlin, the Russian photographer, perfected a form of photography where you can actually photograph a person's body and you will see the energy flowing from them. And that energy flows into your mind. And it's the images you build in your mind that's going to dictate the vibration that this instrument you're living in is
Your
in.
mind,
The vibration on a conscious level
heart,
is called
body,
feeling.
frequency.
Make certain that you exercise your imagination daily. Build beautiful images in your mind of how you want to live, and then hold those pictures there and live that way. The imagination, the greatest nation in the world, the imagination. You've got one. It's a marvelous creative tool. It deals with the invisible side of your personality. You see, no one will ever really see you. They'll only see your body, and they'll see you the great work that you do. Make certain that your work is great work. And if you keep your imagination alive, keep it active, you're going to have a phenomenal life. You know, life can get better every day, and it will get better every day. Through the proper use of your imagination. What a wonderful idea. It's about proper. Thank you.
Well, I guess I rest my case. That guy just confirmed everything I was just saying. Well, at least confirmed what I'm thinking anyway, you know what I mean? Because, in a sense, Forrest Fenn kind of shared that same kind of philosophy, mind thinking, mindset. And I say this because his Thrill of the Chase were about the stories that meant the most to him and the ones that he wanted to remember with the most reverence, with the most clarity that he could. And when he mentions about writing the Thrill of the Chase and the mindset of a 13-year-old, I think he was honestly living, I wouldn't say quite a bit of his life in that mentality, but always had that in his mind that he has it figured out. And if he does, that's great. If not, that's great. In either case, we'll probably see him again with the rest of the energy that's flowing around us. Hey, Amy. There's not much in this party. It's just a party of few. Just talk about time and time travel and love and how you can help facilitate the love you return from the love you put out there in your use of imagination and dreaming and daydreaming and how to use your time wisely to make your future become the present, which hopefully is better than the past. I guess that kind of summed up the whole entire hour that we've been just not talking about nothing, except for me just talking about nothing. Oh, that and showing off the 1880 coined. People make comment on the, you know, oh, see, you can't even see that. How's that? Is that even better? That's even worse, huh? That's okay. You don't need to see it, or do you? You can trust me, or can you? Well, you don't know, but yeah, let's go into the 14th comment drawing. It's interesting because this time I'm afforded to work on my YouTube Beyond the Thrill of the Chase version, which is I wrote down season 1, episode 1 in here, so now I got to start like writing down my YouTube channel, things that I've been doing in here, because it's Beyond the Thrill of the Chase and YouTube version. This is the YouTube version versus the other book that I'm putting together, Beyond the Thrill of the Chase, that I'm hoping helps tie in all of these YouTube versions I'm doing, so that it can help somebody else change their mindset from a positive to a negative, or their situation. And if not, I wish them all the best, you know what I mean? But other than that, this is from the Queen, I'm watching the time. Day. Yes. Good speech on Wednesday. No, I don't know about that one, but I'll take your word for it. If you think I left a good video, I appreciate, or a good speech, I appreciate that. Right. My wife works during the day and sometimes late into the evening, so it's okay. You can sit here and word vomit stuff I think I know just because I think I know them. But I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you think it's possible to time travel if you have an understanding of time and words for past, present, and future, yourself and loved ones, to help facilitate your life in a better way? By daydreaming and using your imagination, or dreaming. I think so. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's working out so far. You know, that I can attest to. That's, yeah, happy wife, happy life, so they say. The other thing to that though is I say is I used to say a woman's right even when she's wrong. She has the right to be wrong. But with, you know, today's now day and age, it's the other person or thing could be right, even if it's wrong. It has the right to be wrong. I don't know. It just clumps everything together. You know what I mean? They're taking away the individualism, so to speak. Or is it? Is it Kiwi? I don't know. For the longest time, Kiwi was a he, before we found out that Kiwi was a she. What else is going on in chat? See, a chat. I mean, anybody else got a video they want to watch on here that's a short clip? We'll talk about it. I don't care. But I like the imagination, and your mind is one of the most powerful things there is on the planet, or the universe. I mean, it's amazing what your body is designed to do and sustain. I mean, it heals itself, for crying out loud. To process and contain the amount of energy that is needed to reflect the universe, or the world of reality around. I'll show that. That's cool. I was excited, in a sense, to find out, because, I mean, so through, what, 15 14, 15 years that I've been with Cindy. 2006, October 10th, when I first met her. All the pets, the kids, our friends and families, everybody gravitated towards Cindy. I mean, she's just a happy, go-loving, good person that, I mean, a light in a dark place, is what she is, and the fires that she creates in people is amazing. And so when we got Kiwi, to have Kiwi sit there and gravitate towards me, well, sorry about that, people. You know, I got messaged by my daughter. See, it's nice. It's a time, so that's time, right there. She took the time to message me back, So that's part of that multiversing, Like they say, out of sight, out of mind. Sometimes it makes you wonder what you want to keep out of sight, out of mind, though. So much digression. And it's hard to chat to myself, read chat, skim through it, and you know what I mean? If I could have it, I'd be playing some background music in here, you know what I mean? I don't know why I can't. Oh, probably people give me copyrighted or this, that, or the other thing. Oh my lanterns, ridiculous. Good art back in the early days. I don't know who that is. That is good art. Doesn't doing what? A video that are too long. See, later, there's another guy you can watch. Oh, good art. Well, I'll keep that in mind too for later on. Neville Goodard. I'll screenshot it so that I can look it up. But yeah, I mean, 4 people hanging out just to do what? Anybody want to do anything else? Talk about anything else? I think that was on there. Or not. I mean, again, there's that whole Kiwi training board, but it got all fuzzy last time. Man, we'll save that training board for something else. Who knows? And then there was the thrill of the chase. I mean, in here, like I said, I got most of my locations that brought me to 9 Mile Hole here in this book, because it was the stories that were lining up the poem for me with certain paragraphs that for me just kind of made it work, which brought me, to the 9 Mile Hole. But that was just, my readings and whatnot. And then, what other stuff do we have for madness to think or talk about? Yeah, I mean, like today, it was a good conversation sitting there on your channel. Why must I go? And again, I appreciate that. And it'll be interesting to see how this channel kind of goes, how it gets tailored. The more people that leave me good or bad criticism, I look forward to working on it so that it becomes a more fluid, flowful thing. Because I can sit there and ask, okay, because the core for season 1 of Miner's Madness truly is giving away this coin. So I mean, season 1 doesn't end until this coin's given away. I mean, that's the whole point of this experience, or both. And to see how my own personal growth, you know what I mean? Because who doesn't like to learn something? So somebody in chat, I mean, everybody else bounced, but I mean, there's still a few hanging out. Share something that you've learned so far this month. Because that's the idea is I mean, I'm going to try to go to once a month so I can have actually stuff to kind of talk about and tailor it to. And that way it makes it a conversational between people in chat. But again, that kind of gets hard when you're sitting there trying to read like 20 different people saying stuff. So I don't know about that one. I might just stick it to just what I've learned and what I've taught and who I reached out to. But then again, nobody cares about what. It's more about you all. You all are the goal, the end game. You know what I mean? Because let's put it this way, without you guys, I mean, there's other ways I can help raise awareness for mental health and people who feel to the point that they don't want to exist to commit suicide. I mean, that's coming from people who would view my channel. That's what I hope my channel does. You know, from point A to point Z is here I am, Kiwis Road, to end game, trying to raise awareness to mental health and prevent suicide to whoever cares to listen. This happens to be my hook that I'm dangling in the water. You know what I mean? To get it started and rolling. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that by the time I'm done, it's a successful journey. Quaker parrot. Kiwi is a Quaker parrot. Huh, girl? Yeah. I don't like it when she squawks and yells at me. I love it when she sits there and just chillaxes on my shoulder, though. And then, like at night, she'll do this like weird sucking noise, kind of like that, but not like that. And ow, she'll get loud. She'll get fidgety. It's weird. Sometimes, like it freaks me out. Like she'll start getting agitated towards her legs and stuff. And it's like, come on, bird, what are you doing, you crazy thing? Don't eat yourself to death. Because I don't want her to be like one of those, not like one of those birds, but like one of those birds that you see that half their feathers are gone and they just look like they're getting ready to be cooked for Thanksgiving for, you know, a party of 6 mice. It's heartbreaking, you know what I mean? So I don't want her to get into that, even though she does pluck her feathers. I mean, they all do. Another part about our training is I don't want her to be like one of those loud birds that are always just chirping and yelling, you know. Though when I'm not around, that's exactly what she does. So it's what I think is just too much chirping and yelling. You know, mom thinks it's okay. That's why earlier today I was showing people Kiwi's behavioral modification tool, and it works out. It works pretty good. She likes it. Again, it's, you know, the squawking, that's a behavior, but also flying is a behavior. So I mean, we've been, as you can see on that board that I was showing earlier. I'll do a. And she can talk when she wants to talk, but she don't say much. Though I'm trying to teach her, you know, trying to teach her more specific correlation words. You know what I mean? Like to go with sign language. Mama, father, you know, water. I'm hungry. The basics. But I mean, she could say I'm an eagle. I've heard her say under my breath. She can say words under my breath, which is interesting. I mean, couch. She can say couch under my breath. But I've heard, you know, bye-bye, pretty bird, hi. I mean, if I did more concentration on teaching her language, it'd probably be a way better. Because I want her to be more vocal. But I need to actually sit down and, you know, do training sessions throughout the days. Which, maybe that might be another season of Miner's Madness, is dealing with a bird, training her how to talk. Or just keep it as like part of the thing that I've been doing so far, trying to show, like I said, so Kiwi's the icebreaker for Miner's Madness, for me venting, yapping, sharing my thoughts and ideas and opinions about life and existence and whatnot. At the very least, I got her that I can listen to or use to talk about. Because even if you ask me, like, the next time I'm on, like, what kind of bird she is, I love it. I'll keep saying Quaker Parrot all day long. As long as it's not Quaker Oats. Oh, get off my ear. Come on now. Ow. So, actually, I'm trying to get her to nibble my ear. And that's a simulation of reason to distract the mind with, because if I'm not mistaken, I read that one of the things that birds pluck themselves is because when you create a pain, you also create a pleasure, and I'm almost sure that's kind of the way it goes, because you need both, and so it releases a chemical reaction in your brain to, trigger different thinking or different things to happen, and so birds would sit there and when they get lonely or missing their owner or whatever, or their other birdie friends, that they'll sit there and pluck their feathers because of that anxiety, stuff like that. So, yep, I'm telling you, I got the internet virus COVID from my dad over in Massachusetts. This is ridiculous. I better get tested. Kiwi's gonna give me the bird flu if she keeps biting me. Ow. Dang, bird. She's got some beaks on her. Pry open a walnut with a single crack. But, yeah, I guess time travel and to facilitate love. I mean, I think I did a well enough explanation on how I come to that conclusion. I don't know. What do you think? Seeing as how you two have mostly been the ones in a steady flow in this room, did I do a decent job of explaining the possibility of time travel through imagination and dreaming, with a person's perception of time, of past, present, and future? Well, thank you very much. Cleans Stewie's case. She says things like, "Bird, you got shit all over." Something else Stewie says, "Got shit all over the place." That's funny. Ow, come on, man. Stop. See, she's getting all agitated. Ow, she's getting all agitated. Stop. The thing is, the point is, she starts biting too hard, she's going to draw blood. Tell you what. This should be the Miner's Madness Crazy Bird show. Oh. I tell you what, though. One of the worst parts about her is she'll coming down here, walking around, next thing you know, chop, right on the nipple, man. That hurts. That hurts bad. Ooh, yeah, I was doing a recording or something like that, and she got me. Yeah, that was a good time. Yeah. Okay, we try not to do that anymore. So hear me all. The bird is saying, yeah. What are you saying, Kiwi? Yeah. So, like, I love you. You say I love you? You say I love you? Can I have a kissy? So, sign language, can I have a kissy? Mm-hmm. And then, I love you. And, I mean, she's getting there. She's getting close to being put, like, in the oven. You gotta have me a cook bird here. With all this hostility she's got going on. Ow. So, another part of what she's doing right here. So she's biting me, and I'm feeling the pressure on her. When she bites me, not all the time does she bite hard. She'll bite soft in a playful manner. One of the things about training her is I'm trying to tell her when she bites is to allow her to bite to an extent that when it starts to become painful, which shouldn't be hard at all, I'll yell at her and say, hey, stop biting me. Tell her to kiss it better. I'm sorry. I'll say, I'm sorry. Because she'll run up and she'll like try to bite the wife on the couch, you know what I mean? Or people will try to reach out and try to bite her. And it's like, I don't want her to be categorized underneath with them other birds that are mean birds. I want her to be a nice gentle bird that people can come up. Stop biting. That is enough. Yeah, you see that? She don't care. She's gonna sit there and bite anyway. You watch. She's gonna get that ear. Is that, I want her to be a friendly bird so that people can actually handle her and be okay. Well, she does pretty good. She loves people. She totally loves people. But yeah. Other than that, anybody else in the chat got any questions or anything? Any other final questions? Final questions. I guess that would be a good way to wrap up my useless nonsense talking and training. Any other questions? Whether it be for me or Kiwi. Wow, that was loud. Right in the gazoozies. Ah. At least I could read. Never useless. Well, I hope that the information that I try to share on Miner's Madness isn't useless. But I guess ultimately Rob, I would definitely have to say never useless because it's at least a memory that has been recorded as a digital diary so that when I get older, I can be like, hey, look at me. I was on YouTube, remember, with Kiwi, blah, blah, blah. Whether it was for, just a few minutes or an hour and a half or more. And plus, it's a way to make new friends and reach out to new civilizations. To boldly go where no bird has gone before. Huh, Kiwi? You want to fly? Come here, I'll throw you around. Maybe one day I'll do that with Kiwis, is do some more training with Kiwi and just chat as like another subject or something, you know what I mean? One of the Minor Madness things, But maybe somebody else is going to go live here shortly. Who knows? Because I'm getting bored of myself. Just kidding. But hey, please don't forget to like, comment, and well, you don't have to subscribe or anything, but you might want to if you want to stay in touch of when I do drawings. But at the top of the chat, there's a link that is to a video. Make a comment on that video for your chance to get entered into a comment picker drawing for this 1880 $5 gold coin from Forrest Fenn, and help me raise that awareness to mental health. And so with that, I got a bird running loose and a shed that's calling my name. That's where I yeah. Anyway, so keep calm, treasure on, and we look forward to seeing you guys next time. And maybe bring a friend or two along. Who knows? Maybe they might, like something I happen to share, or at least I know I'll probably like something that you guys share. So let's make it, instead of a party of 4 to 6, let's make it a shindig, huh? The other day we had quite a few people. It was quite emotionally uplifting. I felt very good. And who doesn't like to feel good? And that's kind of our goal, is at the end of the day, I hope after hearing me or listening or reading something we've done or posted that you feel good as a person, so that we hope to see you when we see you. And again, keep calm and treasure on. Kiwi, say peace. Chunky Deuce. No, you gonna say peace? If you say peace, say peace. Say peace. Can you say I love you? I love you. You say I love you, I'll give you something to drink. I'll give you some coffee. You say I love you. We might not be out yet. Here, get something to drink. You thirsty? You thirsty? Oh yeah. Now can you say I'm thirsty? Well, I'm not sure if you heard that. But probably not. Can you say I'm thirsty? I'm thirsty. I get it when she's really thirsty. Then she'll be saying I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. No? You hungry? Are you hungry? You want to eat instead? Where's your bread? You already threw your bread away? All right, well. Maybe what we'll do is, we could do that on one of the things. The basic needs. And we'll do like a training thing in learning how to say I'm hungry and thirsty with Kiwi. That's part of my madness. Damn, bird. Hey, I need to go get this ear looked at because honestly, she wants to eat it off. So you guys enjoy the rest of your night and keep cool because we like it. Not too cool because we don't want to be freezing around. You know what I mean? We like it. Nice temperature. That's the way we like it. That's how we roll. All right, keep calm and treasure on, peoples. Until next time. Adios, muchachos.